respected teachers, and my dear friends. Today, I, Pragyam Jindal, with my friend Arujan, welcome you all to the e-poster competition on behalf of the Institutional Innovation Council. This competition is being held on the occasion of National Science Day. The National Science Day is celebrated in India on 28th Feb each year to commemorate the discovery of the Raman effect by the great physicist Sir C.V. Raman.
The IIC, or the Institutional Innovation Council, is an initiative of the Ministry of Education, Government of India. Its primary aim is to systematically foster the culture of innovation amongst all higher education institutions by supporting them to work on new ideas, by leading innovation ecosystems in campuses. The major focus of IIC is to support startups by organizing workshops, seminars, interactions, and competitions. Through the IIC, students and respected faculty can get exclusive opportunities and win exciting prizes and certificates.
The growth in healthcare science and technology has made patient care far superior and more reliable in most cases by providing new machines, medicines, and treatments that save lives and improve the chance of recovery for many people out there.
Without any further ado, we would like to announce the theme for today's competition, which is the contribution of science to modern medicine and healthcare. We are extremely honored to have Dr. Niti Gehlot, who is the Associate Professor of Department of Community Medicine, and Dr. Shrishti Kukreja, who is the Assistant Professor. The rules for today are as follows. Each participant will be called one by one. They will be given a 3-minute time window to present their poster in front of the judges. A timer will be set for 2 minutes, which will mark the end of the presentation, and the leftover minute will be for the question-answer round. The presentation will be judged on the basis of the contents of the poster, the clarity of the presentation, and the relevance of the poster to the theme.
Now, to begin with the competition, I would first like to call on stage Dr. Deepak Chaudhary, Dr. Mitrat Singh Chudasma, Dr. Sakshi Agarwal, and Dr. Sukriti Bhardwaj.
Good afternoon to all. I, Dr. Sakshi Agarwal, presenting on behalf of my team on the contribution of India to modern medicine. Before the world even thought of cosmetic surgery, our forefathers in the time of Sushruta and Charak were practicing plastic surgery, and our sculptures proved that a nose job was done even then. Pandit Madhusudan was the first Indian to perform category B section, and we owe our anatomy dissection call to him. Not to be outdone, Dr. Anandibai Gopal Rao Joshi was the first Indian woman to practice Western medicine. The secret of mankind were decoded by Sir Harbhajan Khurana. So all over the world, while people were struggling with the dynamites, the Indians in their own quiet way put forth their dynamism to lay the foundation for numerous medical discoveries and inventions. Thank you.
Distinguished guests and my dear friends, a very good afternoon to all of you.
Today, I, Juhi Dhakar,
And I, Priya Sethi,
honored to stand before you and present our e-poster.
today, that is on 28th February, we celebrate National Science Day in the commemoration of discovery of Raman effect by the genius scientist Sir C.V. Raman.
As we all know, science has an enormous impact on our modern medicine. One of its contributions is artificial intelligence in healthcare.
AI, it is an umbrella term used to describe the application of machine learning algorithms and other cognitive technologies in medical settings.
AI help in accurate and fast diagnostics of the diseases, such as medical records with operating metrics which can assist physicians.
It also reduces human errors, which help us to overcome the lack of activeness and assures the patient's safety.
Another benefit of artificial intelligence is virtual presence. By using remote presence robots, doctors can easily coordinate with their staff and patients in hospitals.
AI is also of great importance in conducting clinical trials, hypothesis generation, or can act as proof of concepts in the field of healthcare discovery. Now, we will end our presentation by a great quote that AI will not replace doctors, but instead will augment them,
enabling physicians to practice better medicine with greater accuracy and increased efficiency. Thank you everyone.
I would like to call Dr. Ayushi Goyal and Dr. Naman Goyal for their presentation.
Myself, Dr. Naman Goyal,
Myself, Dr. Ayushi Goyal.
and we are here to present our poster on the topic Achieving High Precision and Accuracy Digital Workflow. With the evolution of mankind, dentistry has evolved a lot in the sense of research and innovation. And with the advancement in achieving high precision and accuracy, we are here to discuss about the two great inventors in our field, Dr. Francois Duret and Dr. Jen Diaz. Dr. Francois Duret is also known as the father of CAD/CAM dentistry. He developed this research in the year 1973 while working on his thesis topic optical imprints. And Dr. Jen Diaz has worked on the topic computer designed stereolithographic surgical template design. Moving to the digital workflow, first the dentist make a digital impression of the entire maxillary and mandibular arch for recording the implant position. After that, the file is either transferred to the laboratory or to the in-house milling system for the fabrication of the surgical guide template.
Once the surgical guide template is fabricated, the patient is recalled and surgically an incision is made at the required site and the guide is placed. After the placement of the guide, the first drill known as the pilot drill is done and further subsequent drills are done to get the exact dish for the implant placement. Finally, the prosthesis is given after 3 to 6 months of the surgery, depending on the secondary bone formation, and the occlusion is verified after the prosthesis. So, further talking about the advancements in the dental implants, newer but better technology has been developed in the year 2010, known as the dental implant robotics system. This robotic system is guided by it is a robot guided system in which the implantologist will place the implant, but the placements, drilling and the accuracy are supported by the robotic guidance, and it will help in reducing the human errors and achieving and increasing the efficiency of the implant placements for further osseointegration. Thank you so much.
A very good morning to everyone present here today. I, Mansi Mehra, am going to present an e-poster on Henrietta Lacks, the mother of modern medicine, on behalf of my group. Henrietta Lacks was an African-American woman who came to the Johns Hopkins Hospital with a complaint of severe vaginal bleeding and was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cervical cancer. Some cells from her tumor were biopsied without her knowledge and later developed into the first immortalized cell line, which reproduced indefinitely under certain conditions and is used to study the effect of radiations, toxins, drugs, hormones, and viruses on cancerous cells. This was a huge feat to achieve, since all these studies could be done without the experimentation on humans. Her cells, called HeLa cells from the first two letters from her first and last name, still remain a remarkably durable and prolific line of cells with distinguishing features and have been used in research all around the world. Even in death, Lacks continues to save innumerable lives by being the foundation of research for development of various vaccines such as HPV, that is the human papilloma virus, polio, HIV drugs, and most recently the COVID-19 research. In 2010, Rebecca Skloot published the book The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, which tells a story to the world and her impact to the medical field and also raises some important bioethical issues. This tremendous book has also been adapted to a movie by HBO in 2017. From the life of Henrietta Lacks, we can see how a person with no scientific background whatsoever contributes in such a great magnitude to the field of science and of medicine. How science isn't bound by occupation, race, nationality, or gender. It shows us that you, me, everyone present here, and those who aren't, are in fact scientists. We need only to ask the right questions and be zealous to find their answers. Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite Vivek Pawar, Harsh Lohia, Udit Gupta, and Archita Binani.
Are going to present a poster on the history of therapeutics from miracle drugs to new frontiers.
The earliest form of therapeutic was brought about by shaman and religious figures who used spiritual healing and rituals to treat ailments. The form of treatment was based on faith and spirituality and often had poor results.
By the 19th century, new understanding and tools were available. Medical researchers began to isolate and identify active compounds that were responsible for healing properties of plants and herbs. This advancement gave rise to new drugs and medicines which replaced faith-based practices. The marvel of antibiotics quickly spread through the world, transforming the practice of medication.
Soon, the miracle drug was used to describe the life-saving power of these medicines. Chemical synthesis was introduced, leading to the development of drugs such as aspirin, barbiturates, and chloroform, which had much greater potency and fewer side effects.
The 20th century saw emergence of antibiotics and new chemical classes of drugs such as sulfur drugs and non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. These drugs were widely used to treat infectious diseases as well as chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, and hypertension.
The 21st century is often referred as the millennial era of therapeutics due to advances that have been made, from the completion of human genome draft to cutting-edge treatment of coronavirus. There have been some incredible medical breakthroughs that are changing the way condition and disease are being treated in the medical field.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Afternoon, Excellencies, esteemed judges, and my fellow good friends. I present my warm greetings over this National Day of Science. This is Rakshit standing before you, and let's uncover the marvels of molecular machines. In nano world, even the tiniest of the particles move with precision and purpose to carry out the complex tasks. Let us wonder at the ingenuity of the nature's machinery and ponder over the various scientific attempts to unlock its secrets. Molecular scissors are used to cut the genetic material at any desired location. Clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats, or CRISPR, and Cas9 is an enzyme to cut or delete the targeted segments, were developed by Emmanuel Charpentier and Jennifer Doudna, and they received the Nobel Prize of Chemistry in year 2020 for their research. It uses a guide RNA that tells the Cas9 enzymes where to cut. It also provides us with many pioneering possibilities such as gene editing, the diagnosis of infectious organisms with their molecular design, and cultivate new crops and crop varieties for sustainable agriculture, disease modeling, treatment of cancer, sickle cell anemia, retinal blindness, HIV, thalassemia, and mRNA vaccine is also developed based on this technique. It's not only the West, but we are also developing a good fleet of scientists and state-of-art infrastructure for the genome sequencing. One such example is the MedGenome project by Mr. Mahesh Pratipaneni, who was also awarded the Entrepreneurship Award of the Year for the best startup the last week. And the molecular motors. Molecular motors are the molecules with controllable movements which can perform a task when the energy is provided. They were developed by Ben Elfringer, Jean-Pierre Sauvage, and Sergei Fresca-Sadag. They received the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for their research in year 2016. There are many naturally occurring motors in the body such as kinesin, dynein, myosin, alpha ATPase, or Fajita motor. And they have a practical pertinence such as drug delivery to the specific cells of the tissue based on their molecular signatures, and it also provides effective and reduced side effects. It can be also used as biosensors to detect specific molecule changes in the environment. There has been a research to use them to detect changes in the pH in the case of diabetes and cancer patients. It can be used to develop material science, such as materials which can repair themselves, and molecular motor can repair the tissue damage caused by any mechanical stress. They can be used in energy production, or nanoelectronics, or biomedical research, or for studying the properties of the cells and tissues. And the scientists have also successfully made the artificial muscles. There's a marvelous meddling between the two. The molecular motors can be used to target the CRISPR-Cas9 and attack to the very specific cells. It has enabled us to raise from a single cell genome project to the tissue level and the organ level. And it also provides us a path to the precision medicine by proper diagnosis, drug delivery, targeted therapy, and gene therapy. As it was explained by me earlier in my last presentation in October, the artificial intelligence can make our task very easy. So AI along with these tools can redefine and redesign the medicine what we know today. Thank you.
Now I would like to call Dr. Kanupriya Sharma. The next is Shreya Agarwal, Shreya Sharma, Priyanka Jha, Alisha Verma.
And my fellow colleagues. Today, I, Alisha Verma, along with my team, got this golden opportunity to share contribution of science to modern medicine and healthcare. No doubt, science and technology has emerged and evolved within our lives. So here we are to discuss some very useful and important processes of science in which we have extended our great arms within. Biopsy is a medical test commonly performed by a surgeon, radiologist or a cardiologist. This process involves extraction of sample cells or tissue for examination and determine the presence and extent of a disease. Biopsies are most commonly performed for insight into possible cancerous or inflammatory conditions. Immunization is the process by which an individual immune system becomes fortified against an infectious agent. When this system is exposed to molecules that are foreign to body called non-self, it will also develop ability to quickly respond to subsequent encounter because of immunological memory. Active immunization has been named one of the 10 great public health achievements in 20th century. Electrophoresis is motion of dispersed particles related to fluid under the influence of a uniform electric field. Electrophoresis is used in laboratories to separate macromolecules based on their size. Electrophoresis is used extremely in DNA, RNA and protein synthesis. Electrocardiogram is the process of producing an electrocardiograph, a recording of heart's electrical activity through repeated cardiac cycles. It is an electrogram of the heart, which is a graph of voltage versus time of electrical activity, causing electrodes placed on the skin. That's all from my side. Thank you and have a nice day.
Now the next is Rakshita Gadia.
What we know is a drop. What we don't know is an ocean. Science is a magic that works. A very wonderful afternoon to honorable judges, worthy teachers and all my dear mates. Myself Rakshita, here presenting the contribution of science to modern medicine and healthcare. It's amazing to look back and see just how far our world has come technologically. If someone from 100 years ago suddenly found themselves in today's world, they would rethink that they had been teleported into another dimension. Here are some of the great contributions from the past days. The first one is the next generation of mRNA vaccinology. As we know, we have suffered from pandemic from last year. Now, first of all, mRNA technology, how it works. Basically, it mimics the viral protein and tricks the immune system into mounting immune response against the invader. COVID-19 is the best example of mRNA vaccinology. The second one is the transplant devices and the biotech products. Organ transplantation was one of the greatest inventions in the modern medicine. The robo-assisted technologies or the AIs are also used nowadays. Furthermore, tissue engineering is seen as a solution to future food shortages in the food industry. Now, the third one is the non-hormonal alternatives for menopausal hot flashes. These are the basic problems that most of the women face after menopause. Even more than 50% of all menopausal women experience hot flashes, which can persist for an average of 7 years. It's a major problem. Now, we have found out the non-hormonal drugs like NK3R antagonists that have emerged as a visible alternatives to hormonal therapy. Now, the fourth one is the predictive analytics and hypertension. Hypertension, that is also known as the silent killer or the high blood pressure, usually shows no symptoms, while increasing risk for serious health problems. Effective treatment options exist. However, many adults remain unaware of it. Predictive analytics equip providers with a key that could open the door to prevent hypertension and many other diseases. I am concluding my words by quoting the grateful words of C.V. Raman. Treat me right and you will see the light. Treat me wrong and you will be gone. Thank you so much.
Now, the next is Shruti Mittal, Prachi Thakur, and Pradyuman Singh Yadav.
Good afternoon, respected teachers, all my dear fellows. Today, I, Pradyuman Singh Yadav, representing my group including Shruti Mittal, Prachi Thakur, stand in front of you presenting the contribution of Dr. Subhash Mukherjee on the modern healthcare and science. Since we all know that infertility is a great issue in our country, Dr. Mukherjee had a great contribution in this field. He was credited with developing India's first and world's second in vitro fertilization treatment. In 1978, Dr. Mukherjee successfully delivered India's first test tube baby named Durga in Kolkata. It was a breakthrough achievement in the field of reproductive medicine, and his work continued to have a significant impact on the life of millions of people around the world. However, Indian medical community initially didn't recognize his achievement and he faced several criticism and controversies. Initially, Dr. Subhash Mukherjee did not want anybody to know what he was working on, and that what later did not know the outcome of IVF experiment would be. A government panel was formed and a committee ruled against Dr. Subhash Mukherjee and insulted him. Dr. Mukherjee could no longer bear the humiliation he was subjected to. He committed suicide on June 1981. After his death, he was awarded by several prestigious awards, Padam Shri Award, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Award, and many more. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Is Isha Raj, Komal Kumawat, and Priya Datharwal.
Judges and everyone sitting over here. Today, I, Priya, representing my group, including two girls standing in front of you, presenting the contribution of Dr. Jayagopal Jolly on modern health care and science. Dr. Jayagopal Jolly is recorded as the father of transfusion medicine in India. He is an internationally known expert in the field of blood transfusion who pioneered the voluntary blood donation movement in India. And he has also advocated screening of parents and unborn babies for thalassemia in India. He was the founder of Blood Bank Society Chandigarh, founder president of Indian Society of Blood Transfusion and Immunohematology. He was the key person in framing the standards for blood bank and blood transfusion services in India. He also founded transfusion medicine department in many reputed colleges. The fact that the specialty of blood transfusion has begun to be recognized was that he attributed the sustained effort of blood transfusion has begun to be recognized in India. His birthday, that is 1st October, is regarded as National Voluntary Blood Donation Day. His dedicated work has contributed magnificently to the development and excellence of professional services, research, teaching in the field of blood transfusion medicine. He was graded with many awards like PGI Honors, Star Donors on Blood Donors Day, Blood Donation Camp held to mark World Blood Donors Day, and many more. Lastly, I would conclude by saying, sadly missed a long life tree, quietly remembered every day, no longer in our life to share, but in hearts, you are always there. Thank you.
To call Nandini Sharma.
Good afternoon everyone. My name is Nandini Sharma and today on National Science Day I am going to speak on the topic xenotransplant. A worldwide shortage of organs for clinical transplantation causes about 20 to 35% of patients who need replacement of organs to die while on the waiting list. Xenotransplant is a technique used to ensure almost unlimited supply of organs for transplantation. Xenotransplant or heterologous transplant of living is a transplant of living cells, tissues, or organs from one species to another. Such tissues or organs are called xenografts. Moreover, recent evidences have suggested that xenotransplant could could cure diseases such as neurodegenerative disorders in which human material is not generally available. One of the first attempts on xenotransplant was made in 1905 when a rabbit's kidney was transplanted to a child with chronic kidney diseases. Then, in 1963, doctors at Tulane University attempted chimpanzee to human renal transplantation. Recently, on January 7, 2022, David Bennett became the first person to receive a genetically modified pig's heart at University of Maryland School of Medicine by cardiothoracic surgeon Bradley P. Griffith and Muhammad M. Muhyiddin. Although there is potential risk of infection to the recipient, this technique could solve a huge problem in coming years. Thank you.
Good afternoon everyone and most welcome all of you. Today we'll celebrate Science Day. The National Science Day is celebrated in India on 28 February each year to mark the discovery of the Raman effect by Indian physicist Sir C.V. Raman on 28 February 1928. For his discovery, Sir C.V. Raman was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1930. What is science? The study of the nature and behavior of natural things and the knowledge that we obtain about them. Science help in the diagnosis and treatment of disease, alignment and conditions. Dear friends, we all know very well that science has given us to a lot of things and technologies. Science is having a major influence in our daily life. India has an important role for contributing the scientific world. From the ancient time, India has great potential in science. Every science, new discoveries have made it possible for a man to simplify his life. Everything that scientists have discovered so far has been made possible by advances in science. Man has reached space only with the help of science. Science has made an important contribution in every field. For example, the development of science has made our life secure. In the past, people suffered from various fatal diseases, but now the development of medical science made disease curable given by science. Lot of medicine and method of treatment are available. For various disease, X-ray machines and other tools for better treatment is really wonderful of science. All these are gift by the science. On this day, more and more students are motivated to pursue their career in science. So friends, on this day of science, we have to resolve that we will always make good use of science and everybody contribute of the progress in our country. Thank you all of you for listening me and both your presence.
Moving on, we have a presentation from Krishna Bhargav.
Art is the tree of life. Science is the tree of death. Science may set limits to knowledge, but should not set limits to imagination. Good afternoon, admired judges and my dear friends. I am Krishna Bhargav and I'll be speaking about one of the biggest contributions to modern medicine and healthcare, that is antiseptic surgical care and wound management, which was promoted by the scientist Joseph Lister. Joseph Lister was a British surgeon, medical scientist, experimental pathologist, and a pioneer of antiseptic surgery and preventative medicine, and also the 37th president of the Royal Society. He understood converting a chance observation into a meaningful application relating to germ theory of fermentation given by Pasteur. Lister's contribution to the fields of physiology, pathology, and surgery were fourfold. Firstly, he promoted the principle of antiseptic surgical care and wound management while working as a surgeon at the Glasgow Royal Infirmary by successfully introducing phenol, then known as carbolic acid, to sterilize surgical instruments, patient skin, sutures, surgeon's hand, and the ward. Secondly, he researched the role of inflammation and tissue perfusion on healing the wounds. Thirdly, he advanced diagnostic science by the microscopic analysis of specimens. Eventually, he devised elegant strategies to increase chances of survival after surgery. Lister's work led to a reduction in post-operative infections and made surgery safer for patients, distinguishing him as the father of modern surgery. I would like to end this by quoting few lines relating to Raman effect. Wavelength of light changes only when a light beam is deflected by a molecule. And if your beam is determined, no molecule can change a wavelength. Thank you.
Radhika Srivastava, Riya Yadav, Nisha Meena, Happy Chawla. Till the scores are total and winners are selected, I would like to request Dr. Ram Manohar Jaiswal sir to say a few words.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Just we enjoyed all the posters, and it is very difficult to say which poster is the best one because you are taking the topic of xenotransplant, transfusion. Dr. Jolly is one of the pioneers in India for the blood transfusion, and CRISPR technology, gene editing. I think at this level you are sensitized with all these the latest techniques in the medical field, and some were presented on the HeLa cells. HeLa cells just metamorphizes all the concept of the science of the discovery, and as you rightly mentioned, HeLa was the suffer from the cervical cancer, and then then her cell is still contributing in all the discovery. Just the role of these all inventions and newer technologies. Can anyone say about I think you all aware of Angelina Jolie. एंजेलिना जोली सर क्या हुआ जो अभी मॉडर्न मेडिसिन का जो इम्पैक्ट है उससे क्या बेनिफिट हुआ उसमें एनीवन आर अवेयर और नॉट एंजेलिना जोली आर यू अवेयर हु शी इज एंजेलिना जोली ब्रिटिश एक्ट्रेस ओके क्या हुआ था her mother was died due to ovarian cancer okay and some gene mutation BRCA1, PRCA1, PRCA2. She gone for the prophylactic mastectomy. Okay, just prophylactic removal of breast. So that was a very bold decision at that time. But by this method, she can prevent the cancer. So these technologies are these are the dynamic process. Okay, just like in recently last year in 2021. Heart transplant was done by the pig. That is the xenotransplant. Unfortunately, that recipient was died after a few months. But these are the things which, suppose 100 years back, after transfusion, patient was not able to survive. But now, every recipient is well tolerated all kind of transfusion. Just like that, xenotransplantation is again one of the future promise to cater the need of the shortage of the organ. So I congratulate to all of you, each of you, because by this method, by we are celebrating the importance of National Science Day, we can know our importance. What are our contribution for the development in the health and future technologies. Thank you and congratulations to all of you. Winner एक ही होएगा, but you all did a great job. तो मेरे लिए तो सभी winner हो, ठीक है? Now I'm inviting Dr. Bhagat to announce the name of as a first किसी ना किसी को देना ही है, but you all are the first.
Thank you, sir. Before we tell the results, firstly I would want to thank each one of you for participating. और कुछ नहीं तो थोड़ा आपको नॉलेज गेन हुआ होगा, जिस रिसर्चर के बारे में आपने पढ़ा होगा, मेरे बच्चों ने कैम के बारे में पहली बार देखा होगा, जिस साइंटिस्ट ने इंट्रोड्यूस, इनफैक्ट so many things I only heard, sir, for the first time. So we are grateful for all students who actively participated and made that effort of putting the information for a poster. So this is very good because this brings about your personality, overall development. हमारे जो बाकी contemporaries हैं उनके यहाँ तो ये सब चीज़ें बहुत regular होती है, पर हम मेडिकल फील्ड वाले सिर्फ पेशेंट केयर में लगे रहते हैं. So इन छोटी छोटी presentations के साथ आपकी overall confidence to speak publicly, to perform, to research, that also improves. So with that, at least that is your contribution towards the National Science Day today. So on that basis, I would congratulate each one of you who participated today. I'll also announce the Oral Healthcare Challenge which IIC has introduced. I have already circulated it in the Student Council group. Usme the focus is on oral health care. So even if it is oral health, innovations related to oral health, oral and medical, they interlink. We have people in microbiology, they develop mouthwashes. Oncology who work on oral cancer. So it's not that dental hai or medical hai, after all it's all part of the human body. So if you are keen on understanding any innovation which remotely handles oral care, we invite you people to come forward for your ideas. And I would want to also announce at this point that our Honorable Vice Chancellor has been very grateful. He's very encouraging कि MGMST से कोई innovation startup तक पहुँच पाए. तो इस वजह से जो बेस्ट इनोवेशंस हैं वो महात्मा गांधी की दिल्ली में कॉन्फ्रेंस, नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रही है, वहाँ पे शोकेस की जाएगी. So with this platform, I would want to announce that please come up with ideas related to healthcare basically and oral healthcare for the time being. The call is open for oral healthcare. So with that, we have these wonderful presentations. So कंटेंट है, आपने कैसे प्रेजेंट किया है, वो है किस कॉन्फिडेंस में आपने बोला है, टाइम लिमिट एक्सीड नहीं करी है, and so on and so forth. So we have first is the one whom we really award, but madam has been kind enough to give 2 more. So we will start from number 3, right? So second runner-up. So second runner-up is Dr. Ayushi and Dr. Naman Goel from Dental College. So spelling